What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast. We had a week hiatus. Lots of stuff going on. Brian was moving. I had midterms. Lots of shit in life, but we are back. I've missed these boys so much. Boys, I missed you. I really missed doing last week's episode. That sucked. I'm happy we're back.
I missed you too.
I'm happy we're back. Well, boys, we've got a lot to cover. Lots of stuff in the show today. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at GrabMyBannerPod. Follow us on Instagram at GrabMyBannerPod. And follow us on TikTok at Grab My Banner Podcast. We are also streaming live on YouTube right now at Grab My Banner Podcast. Next time you guys want to capture the show, go ahead and we will be streaming it live. So this is our first time doing a live show, a little different. We've got a little bit of a different setup here, but I feel good. Ready to go. Boys, let's get into the show and let's start off with something big here. We're going to start off with our Raise Energy question of the day. Use code BANNER for 15% off at checkout when you go to @RepSports.
Are you going to play footsies with me all damn night? You're literally just playing footsies with me right
close.
now.
Troy's close to all of us now. We can feel him. Don't forget to use code BANNER, 15% off at RepSports. Get yourself a Raise Energy. Get yourself some energy supplements. All right, the Raise question of the day. What would each legend get if they were to go to the bar and order themselves a drink? I'll start. Pathfinder, he's going straight Jaeger. 3 shots, all to himself. All to himself.
It tastes like motor oil.
And here's the thing: it tastes the closest to motor oil, and he doesn't understand what alcohol is supposed to do, so he just gets as much of it as he can to just look cool. Plus, he hangs out with Mirage a lot, and I think Mirage drinks just like a fuck ton.
He owns the bar.
Yeah,
Mirage drinks like a fucking goldfish, bro. I think that's.
Listen, I've got a few things that I really expect people to drink. Everyone's going to look at you and be like, oh, he's going to get like a Mai Tai or some shit, the Hawaiian motherfucker. No, that dude's getting an Appletini because he's the biggest guy in the game, and he's just going to be dainty as fuck with it.
It's like when you see a big guy at the gym, you're like, holy shit, that guy's shredded. And then like his wife picks him up from the gym or something, and he's just got the tiniest dog, and he's just loving up on it.
Exactly,
and he just loves the
that
shit
is
out
it
of that
right
dog.
there.
That's what Gibraltar's like.
The other one is Bangalore is whiskey all the fucking way.
I was thinking either whiskey or I couldn't think of anybody else who would drink beer out of all these legends other than Bangalore. I don't think anybody else would drink
I think
beer.
Watson might get a pint.
Caustic.
What?
Caustic.
Watson get a pint.
Watson's getting fucking water.
Hey.
Yeah, Watson.
Is she even old enough to drink?
Watson would go to the bar.
Watson's a child.
She's like 18, bro, at the very most.
Well, we're assuming they're
That's what
21.
No, yeah.
We're
Okay,
assuming they're of the
You know
legal
she's
age.
underage because Brian called it.
fucking hate you. I fucking hate you.
No, honestly, if Watson at legal age 21, she's probably
still drinking water.
Yeah, she's getting like a Coca-Cola.
She's
something.
too responsible.
Yeah, yeah. She's not gonna be. She's not gonna be doing anything.
She's the one. I'm the DD.
I think that she would probably drink too much because she wouldn't know how to drink and then just get shit housed.
No, she'd do that one time, and then after that, she would just like, all right, I'm getting a vanilla Coke every time I go to a bar.
You go out with Wraith one fucking time.
Yeah, Wraith or Mirage.
No, I remember now. Wraith is the one that orders the Appletinis in the
is
in
she?
the little short.
Is she?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I remember because Mirage is like, I would never make fun of her for that because the last guy got
Oh,
beat the fuck up.
I think
I was wrong about Wraith. I had her pegged as a Four Loko gal.
Here's what
She
I was
might
thinking.
be a Four Loko.
That's probably
guy.
how she went blind.
That actually makes
She's
sense.
Caustic's just straight absinthe over there. He just replaces his gas grenades.
Absinthe. Caustic just drinks absinthe all day.
Caustic's a weirdo. Caustic's the guy you want to stay away from at the bar. You want to stay as far away as you can from
Caustic's the
Caustic.
guy you're afraid he might drug you at the party.
Yeah, you want to
Caustic's
stay
the
away
old
from
man in the
Caustic.
corner that walks up and you immediately turn to all your friends and walk away.
Well, I feel like Caustic's so classy that he would just drink wine, but he's still a weirdo.
Crypto probably drinks sake or something.
What about Revenant? Yo, that Crystal Skull vodka.
The Crystal
yeah.
Skull vodka, the stuff that just kills you? Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff, the one that comes in the skull.
Vodka, where it's
Yeah,
the vodka.
Loba.
Dude, Loba.
I think Loba's a classy chick, man.
Loba
I think
has
she wears
so
like
many
a-
favorite drinks because every time she goes to the bar, everybody there is buying her
Listen,
stuff.
I was like, Loba's the kind of girl that's never paid for a drink.
Yeah, she
and
is.
it's for the entirely different reason than why Wraith has never paid for a drink.
It's 100% the same. Also,
I just want to say I'd buy Loba a drink at the bar if I saw her.
yeah, I mean, I would send something that way. All right, guys. Well, that's just the start of the show. We've got a lot more to take care of here today. We're going to get into our Reddit discussion just after this. Then we're going to get into talking about Season 7. Holy fuck, boys. We got a lot coming in Season 7. It's going to be fucking exciting. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to finish the show like we always do with gambling. So with that said and done, let's get into Kings Canyon, the Reddit discussion. Now, lots of pros on Twitter have been talking about how Kings Canyon is just not a proper competitive map. They don't like it. There's too much high ground. There's too much choke points. They don't like the choke points because there's a shitload of them. So, and also the zones, for whatever reason, I've been watching a lot of competitive Apex the last few weeks, and the zones are very weird. Like, you'll have a zone like on a part of the map that you can't even travel to. Either way, a lot of pros are done with Kings Canyon. Have we outgrown Kings Canyon as a map? Is it just we've outgrown it competitively? Should it stay in casual? Or is it just it's time to scrap that and just go back to what it was in the beginning? Because there's been a lot of changes to Kings Canyon.
Do you feel like the summary you just gave is a really good summary of the complaints, or is there any more? Because if those are the only complaints, I think that's pretty weak sauce, honestly.
Yeah, that's really it. And you know, the thing you have to remember is a lot of these pros are very they're finicky about everything. It seems like the pros complain about too much sometimes. You know, like there's a lot of complaints that I don't feel are warranted and stuff like that. But yeah, those are the only ones. The choke points and then the high points with there's a lot of like bridges you can go on top of and just kind of rain down on people.
If that's all of the complaints, if that's a good summary of the complaints, then I completely disagree. Because, for example, I mean, this is it's a very different game, but when I watch the pros play Smash Bros., I hate it when they play on the flat competitive maps. Because you're missing out on like a whole different aspect of the tactical game that you would get if you had some verticality to the maps. And when you have choke points and you have a lot of elevation changes and there's a lot of cool topography and stuff, that just gives you more opportunities to see different players shine. And I think that the more that you make it like more standardized throughout a map, I think the less variation and cool stuff that you can see. So as someone watching, not necessarily as somebody playing competitive, I wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like that northeast part of the map is just the weaker corner of the map.
If they were going to continue with Kings Canyon in competitive, I don't think it could be in this form right now. It would have to be back to the either the second version of Kings Canyon with the gigantic dinosaurs in it, or the very original map. I feel like that's the only way you could keep Kings Canyon in competitive, and even then, I'm not sold on it. Especially with Olympus coming in. Now, we still have a lot of questions up in the air about how Olympus will play, but you got to think that they had this much time to make this map, and they put consideration towards competitive play.
Well, I mean, in the competitive scene on Kings Canyon, I don't think it's nearly as much of the map being an issue as it is you look towards what characters are being played at a higher rate, and a lot of it you see Revenant, the free pushes through the choke points, not an issue. If you make it through to the other side, awesome. Wraith in every map there is and will ever be. Wraith will be a very viable option purely for the value that you get of moving 3 people for the price of 1. That on its own will make Wraith meta and competitive the entire time she is in this game, until they one day change that ult because they realize it is too strong at all levels. Other than that, I would say we have a lot of really good zoning characters. A lot of good characters that are good at cutting off choke points, which is what Kings Canyon is built around. Remember, we were wanting and craving for Kings Canyon to come back a while ago, and that was because we were playing World's Edge for so long, which is such an open world map, such a very, not open world, but very
open space.
Yeah, open concept map. Yeah. We were wanting Kings Canyon back so bad because we were like, you get into a fight, people are engaging from a mile away. And if you weren't playing a high mobility character, there was an issue. Well, I don't think it's as much of that Kings Canyon is the issue with such type choke points and the high ground and stuff like that. That's fine. It's a different map. You need to play your skill base, or your play style needs to adjust to what's the standard and what the map is.
So when you were talking about that, something popped in my head. When you take a map like World's Edge, if you think about the choke points in the map, all of them are really, really wide. there's a lot of space to get through the choke point. Whereas, when you go to Kings Canyon, most of the choke points are very narrow if you think about it. And that's what kind of like filters people through. So there's not as much space to make through the choke point. So that's where Kings Canyon and World's Edge differ. And I think that's what people are upset about, is that, it doesn't give you room to make plays.
Well, that's the thing that I'm saying. It does. You just have to change your character picks, and which is going to force people off certain characters and certain maps, but I also don't think that that's a bad thing. It means that the meta is going to be changing per map that you play. I think that they need to have a faster rotation of maps. Maybe 1 week in Kings Canyon, 1 week in World's Edge, and then maybe 2 weeks in Olympus because it's going to be the new map. Everyone's going to want to play it type deal. But you're looking at how many characters do we have that can zone off areas and choke points very just abruptly. You have Caustic, who's incredible at it. You have Bloodhound, who's able to scan the entire area, and then obviously your guns can hold down a choke, especially if you have the knowledge of what's on the other side. Watson, you're kidding me, right? A fence. Rampart, you're kidding me, a wall.
Yeah.
You're looking at Gibraltar with his ultimate and his dome, to be honest. And then you have Bangalore, who, what good is her ult other than zoning? A lot of characters in this game are designed to control the flow of battle within a certain choke point, and King's Canyon provides a lot more of those choke points plus high grounds. And you just have to be able to adjust for it with people like Revenant, Pathfinder, Octane, Wraith, where you can move your team at a faster pace and more risk-free.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think a big part of why the pros might not want to make those adjustments is because, making it through those choke points is always a maybe. I mean, it's not certain that just because you're dropping Kings Canyon that you're going to have to hit those narrow choke points. So you might be taking on a meta that's really appropriate for those special cases, but out in the open in normal combat, it's a worse meta. So that's like a big risk. And I, as somebody who's watching, I like the fact they have to make those decisions. Mm-hmm. Like, that's something that's exciting for me. But as a pro, I could see how that would be a real turnoff.
Yeah. So we do have some confirmation about what's coming in the future. Next season, Kings Canyon will be out. That is confirmed. Kings Canyon will not be a map, at least barring any LTMs or special events. It will just be Olympus, and it will just be World's Edge. So Kings Canyon will be gone. But I think the question here is, where would you guys like to see it lay? I would personally like to see its original form come back, and I think having a 3-map rotation in competitive play would be fun. I'd enjoy that.
I think if they just added an area where Skulltown was left, where Skulltown has disappeared, and they added an area where Thunderdome was, I think that would correctively make that side of the map better again, and then you wouldn't have such crowded fights like you have now.
I don't mind the fights the way they are now, to be honest. Like, when I played Kings Canyon, I want that content. I want to be able to have or drop into lobby and know this is going to be a fight. Every time I get in a fight, the whole lobby might fucking show up.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's crazy that we're even thinking or talking about Kings Canyon not being part of the game. But honestly, at this point, when this competitive split started and we started playing Kings Canyon, you could feel it about probably a week in or so that Kings Canyon just in its form right now, it's just not a competitive map. It just doesn't feel...
It doesn't feel like Kings Canyon.
It doesn't feel like Kings Canyon, too. And it's kind of like a weird hybrid of like what the devs want and what the fans want and what the pros player want, and it's getting pulled in all these different directions, and it really sucks because the map in its own, that's home, for all of us who started day one. That's our favorite place to go, so it sucks that it's not in that form anymore, and it gets difficult to play sometimes. Speaking of map changes, let's move on to our main discussion because we've got a lot to break down. We'll hit with a quick ad and see you on the other side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Season 7 is upon us, and it feels like just a few weeks ago we were sitting there, depressed, sad. It was 1 week into Season 6. I hated myself. I hated everything. I wanted to run away. Almost dropped out of school. Almost, broke up with my girlfriend.
You are so full of shit.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but season 6, the start of it was ass.
Oh,
it
it sucked.
sucked.
It
It was awful.
Oh,
it was
was
awful.
terrible.
And look where we are now. At the start of season 6, we had no content. We hadn't seen anything new in days. We were out in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Just please give us something, and they finally did. And then they slapped us in the face with a shitload of content, and they have not stopped, and they will not stop. Season 7 is on the way. That Stories from the Outland trailer got me rock solid. I'm rock solid right now.
Yes, they were rock solid.
It was awesome.
Cakes could have been better.
The cakes probably could.
The cakes were a little, well, we could...
They lackluster.
The cakes... The thing about the cakes was, I figured that they weren't going to be there, but I was hopeful that they would, but they're not there. They're not there.
Troy, you have this look on you. What's going on?
What's going on?
You guys are so greedy for the cakes. Not everybody's gonna have cakes, man. You got to be a face guy too. All right. You have to appreciate the whole package.
This is
And
a
we
video
have a lot
game.
of, no, I understand, but we have a lot of cakes. All right, already in Apex.
Are you saying-
but such incredible face.
Are you saying too many cakes is a
She
bad
does
thing?
have a
No,
nice face.
I'm not saying too many cakes is a bad thing. I'm saying you have to take in how amazing Horizon's face is.
Yeah, she's got a nice face. Hey, great head of hair. Like, can we talk about her head of hair? Solid.
Redhead, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, redhead, but it's
Beautiful.
just nice and curly and wavy. It looks good.
It's like fire.
Yeah.
Touching on that,
Just like
It's
fire.
It's like fire.
It's just like fire.
touching on our Ray's question of the day, I think she would be a gin girl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, gin.
dude. She
Anything
would
with
be.
gin.
Can we take?
I don't know.
What?
Listen, she's like 90 to 100 and something
She's
years old.
fucking Irish.
No, she's Scottish.
Scottish?
Scottish.
Yeah, she's Scottish.
Yeah.
Let me say this right now.
Maybe she drinks gin.
Ray's maybe. I mean,
Gin's
Horizon may be at the bottom of the cheek scale, but if there was one person I could take to the bar, I'm taking her. Like, she would have a conversation with you for hours, and it would just feel
She
awesome.
seems so cool.
Yeah,
All the way around.
you could talk about
She's
anything.
a balanced character in all
Persona-
the ways. Yeah.
Personality. Also, when I was watching the video, in one of the scenes, there's the background of a nice looking spacesuit, and I'm thinking that the bad girl in the video, she might have some. She might fit on the cheek scale, because that suit, I was like, damn.
Got some cheeks.
Wait, the
Yeah.
bad girl in the video. Are we talking about
Ash.
Yep, Ash.
Yes, let's get to that real quick. Let's stop talking about cheeks for 5 seconds here. So in the video, obviously, Horizon was betrayed by one of her great friends, and that turns out like it looks like it's going to be Ash. It looks like Ash is the bad person. That was her in her human form. 87 years later, her brain has been transferred into a simulacrum, which happens to be Ash. We have a lot of evidence for this, but one of the main things is when you go back to Season 5 and you go down in the quest and you first pick up Ash's head, you can hear her say a wee bit of betrayal, dearie, which is like one of the main key giveaways. Also, just a lot of the facial features and the way the hair sat, like the hood that she normally wears. I think it's all kind of a metaphor for that being Ash. Also, the comic book strips in this season really point towards it. So, if that's the case, we've got ourselves 2 sets of arch bitter rivals. We've got Revenant and Loba, and then we've got Ash and Horizon, which is awesome.
So who do you think has the bigger case against the other?
Loba. I think Loba.
Loba,
Well,
she
yeah.
got her whole family murdered, brother.
Loba had her parents killed, but you have to realize, like, you're going to lose your parents at some point, no
Listen.
matter what. You never expect to live your life without your child.
Yeah, but at the same time, I look at anybody who wears eyeliner like that, they're scarred so beyond belief. So
That could have been somebody.
You're not wrong.
That betrayal could have been someone so close that it could have been like anti-Ash.
well, and
You
I
know,
think
like, that's pretty bad.
it is bad. I'm not saying what she did wasn't bad. It's bad, but I think she's going to be able to see her son. We'll see in the story. We'll see what happens. She might be able to get like one last glimpse, one last hello or goodbye to her son, whereas Loba just literally watched her dad's neck get cracked.
Well-
And then she also watched her mom take a bullet. But I think Brian has a point, because I think Loba has the bigger axe to grind. But now, like, she's lived her life. She's been successful up to this point. Congratulations on the cheeks, a round of applause. The only thing really wrong with her is, that crazy eyeliner. And that's how you know to stay away. But at the end of the day, like, she's fine. Horizon, on the other hand, that's like you lose your soul. Like,
you
at that
lost
point.
your best friend, trapped you in like, think of somebody leaving you, like just driving away without you.
Yeah.
Now do that where you have absolutely no chance of ever seeing your family again. Your family, your friends, and your best friend did this to you, or possibly sister, whatever the relation is. We don't know. But it's someone that's so close to the family that you brought your children around to it. And now your children are more than likely going to be left still around that person that left you out in the middle of nowhere.
Not only that, but you said you were going to come back, and you had full intentions of coming back, and you had no, like, you were going to come back, and like you were this close to getting back to your son, and then she locks you out.
Yeah. Right after you're trying to do humanity a major favor, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they had run out of energy at that point. And that was like the last-ditch help, and Ash just said, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, I think you've convinced me to switch sides here. Like I said, I think Loba has the bigger axe to grind, but I think she's like, whatever.
So you're saying I'm right?
I will never say that out loud. I will never verbally say Brian. Yeah, I almost said it.
You almost did it.
I almost said it. All right, let's talk a little bit about the new vehicle system. Now, I put up a TikTok on our TikTok account, at Grab My Banner Podcast. Put up a TikTok, and it did really well, but there were a lot of comments of people who were very, very concerned. A lot of people who said, I'm not going to touch the game if I hear vehicles are coming in at all, which... awful thinking. Number one, if that's how you live life, I'm sorry. Like, I'm really sorry for you. You should not do it that way. I used to do it that way. I don't anymore, because you're gonna miss out on a lot here. We haven't tested it out yet. Vehicles are coming to Apex. We know it's happening. You got to give it a chance first, though. You got to give it a chance.
Yeah, vehicles allow you to have a much bigger map and still have it be much more fast paced. It gives you the opportunity to break up, at least in my opinion, to break up looting and fighting in a really interesting way, where you can have a little bit more safety in your looting because you're in a bigger map, but you can engage in fights more quickly because you're able to transport yourself once you've looted. So I think that's going to be a really interesting thing to just see how they do it. It's going to be fun for teams to be able to fight off of a vehicle. I've always loved that. In every battle royale that I've played, I've always loved being with a team in a vehicle. It's a high risk, high reward situation. I have no idea, I don't know if you do, what the damage system to the vehicle itself will be. No. There's no way to know yet, but I mean that's something that contributes to how much of a risk it is to use it. But anytime you have a fast-paced transportation system, you can have a much bigger map and still have quicker fighting, which is, I think that's what we wanted.
And you want to talk about getting rid of choke points. I mean, vehicles are how you break choke points right then and there. Like, they're done now.
Way.
Yeah, so it's... And like you said, there's a lot we still have to figure out. We got to figure out how quickly it is to get on or off the vehicle, how much damage they can take, what you can get hit on, what are the hit boxes on the vehicle. There's a lot to figure out here, but I've played a lot of BRs with vehicles, and here's a little small thing. In casual play, it'll make it a lot more fun just to fly around on a vehicle and have a good time. I know when when you're done with the competitive bullshit and you just want to relax and have fun, vehicles are the way to go, baby.
Dude, I am so pumped to see some of your freaking sniper shots off those vehicles.
Yeah,
I am so ready,
that
dude.
comes off vehicles.
I am
nuts.
so ready, dude.
Oh, that Kraber shot coming off one of those vehicles.
Yeah. Or
Dude.
chucking a grenade
Or
in one as
did-
it's flying by.
I'm waiting for a Pathfinder to grapple off a vehicle, fly through, and land that Kraber shot. That's
Yeah,
gonna be so
dude.
badass.
This is what we're talking about, content creation. We've been talking about this since episode 1. Apex needs more avenues in that respect, and they're going to get it with vehicles in casual play.
So what I'm thinking is as long as the vehicles aren't like super overpowered, like the ATVs in Warzone or the ATVs in what was the BR that Call of Duty had before Warzone? Blackout. I remember the cars and the ATVs in Blackout were so overpowered that they had to nerf them like 3 or 4 times until they finally said, just fuck it. Like, if you get hit by a vehicle, unless it's like dead on, you're not going to die.
I mean, that could very well happen. I mean, like, we've complained so much in the past about big changes happening, and it feels like nothing changed. Mm-hmm. They might go overboard on some of these characters, like Horizon, which I think is going to be incredibly powerful right from the rip.
Yep.
And these vehicles, but we have to trust that just like with the shields, and the energy or energy guns and all that stuff that Respawn will make efforts to quickly adjust.
It's got to be tuned. It's
Yeah.
going to need to be tuned. I would love to see Wraith's portal to be able to transport whole vehicles. That'd be so sick. To catch a vehicle with the portal and then transport it off a cliff or like into a wall. Oh, that'd be so
That would
And
be
then
so funny.
It's also tying in with like the bows. If you have explosive bolts,
Oh
hitting
my
a vehicle
God.
with an explosive arrow from across the map. I mean, there's just so much that they can do with it.
There's so much that could have interactions. Like the vehicles, they could be incredibly powerful, but if you have Watson fences and crypto drones and those, say, any of the electric grenades or arrows, if that's a thing, or anything like that.
You hit somebody with an arc star?
Just hit the thing with an arc star, then
Yeah.
it shuts down the vehicle.
Yeah.
Short circuited or something.
That'd
you
be,
know?
or it just blows it up. I mean, shit.
I mean, yeah, maybe blow it up, but if that grenade does extra damage from the vehicle blowing up on top of the grenade,
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a little much. But if it just turns it off to where it shuts it down for, like, say, a minute, and then you can run up and use it after you kill the team that just got fucked on it, yeah, why not? That
Yep.
seems like a very, high risk, high reward. You can push through that choke, but if they have crypto ult or something to counter it, then you have to play around that.
Yeah, if the crypto ult shut off the vehicles, I think crypto would get a massive
Dude.
buff.
And he's already
Imagine-
strong right now.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you picture you're just mobbing along in your vehicle, and then all of a sudden just a random crypto ult comes out of nowhere, and you're just fucked in the middle of nowhere with nothing but a vehicle.
Oh, dude.
Imagine
You're
hitting a
so
bloodhound
bad,
scan, and all of a sudden you just see like 3 different vehicles flying at you, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, dude.
That'd
Oh
be
my-
super cool.
It's going to open up the game so much
So
more.
much.
And let's once again, let's get back to this. Give it a shot first. Don't
100%.
just give up. Give it a shot. I understand people's reasoning for not wanting vehicles. I've always understood that, but you got to give it a shot first. You test it out, see how it goes. And here's the other thing, like Brian said, we've always known Respawn to go over the edge and then they pull it
And
they pull it back.
And you can't not do it that way.
You have to
do it
You-
that way.
you have to.
They tried doing it the other way, and it's called Crypto, Revenant, and Loba.
Yep.
And we still have issues with one of those characters, and they're supposed to be a very prominent character in this game.
Yeah.
One of the biggest seasons to date, and Loba's still really teetering on like just non-existent
Mediocrity.
Yeah.
What if you could put caustic traps in the car
And then you just throw
drive
it-
it through a team and do donuts around it? You're doing donuts with the caustic trap just going
That'd
off.
be so much
or
fun.
you're able to make Rampart more relevant because you can put a Rampart shield on each side of the car and then everybody's shooting through it. There's so many things. Anytime you have a game that's like Apex or like Overwatch where you have individual abilities, anything you put in that the players can interact with, each player has there's a dynamic between the special abilities and the interactable item, and that's what makes it hard to put them in. It's
Yeah.
different than Call of Duty, but it opens up. All those interactions are a completely different way to play the game, and so anybody who sees that on its face and says, "Well, I'm not going to touch the game," you're going to see all these awesome clips of people doing creative things with it, and you're going to feel really silly because it's such a gift, really.
Yeah, imagine this. Depending on how big it is and depending on how quick you can get on and off the vehicle, load the vehicle up with caustic traps, drive it through a door where all the other enemy team is inside, and just all the
Out.
traps
Yeah,
just go,
oh, dude.
just going off.
So sick.
I was picturing that because I was thinking, like, what if you have a bunch of Watson fences just lined up, and then you just drive your vehicle just straight through them, like crash into the team?
Yeah.
And like, what if it has like forward momentum, so you can like drive it and then just hop out and it just fucking crashes into
Exactly.
100%. Or
That's-
the Watson fence blows it up, but the damage does damage to the other team. Or you can throw grenades onto your own vehicle and then
just
hop off.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
there's almost limitless amount of things you can do with that, and how could you not be excited?
Yeah, I'm pumped for it. And like I said, there's a lot that goes into it. We don't know a lot of the details, but at this point, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about it. Let's talk a little bit about the new map. And this is probably my favorite part. We're going to get an entirely different place. It's going to feel fresh again. It's been so long since things have felt fresh, and we finally get that. Cloud City, it's going to be fucking awesome. This is the part I am most excited for. I can't wait till Olympus is here.
Dude, I still remember when we went from Kings Canyon to the first time to go to World's Edge. We got in that dropship, and as soon as it loaded, we go, holy shit, this is big. And now we look at World's Edge, and we go, Yeah, it's World's Edge. When we hit Olympus, I hope that it with vehicles that it is big enough to where we go, holy shit, this is big.
Well, so apparently from all the Twitter accounts we follow, all the leaks we've seen, and from what Respawn has said, Olympus is supposed to be very big, very big.
I'm excited for that, and I love the fact that it's so big that if there's an issue of finding people, we now have cross-plat. Mm-hmm. I always want to call it crossplay.
Crossplay.
Whenever I say cross-plat, I always feel like I'm talking about a rank.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but it is the same thing.
It's the same thing. But now that we have that, they have the potential to up the lobby sizes like we've talked about, and it's able to basically we can find the correct number for that lobby to make it consistently interactive, fun to play, but not so crowded that you're fighting for loot consistently.
Has Shrugtroll or any of the other data miners said anything about lobby size?
No, they haven't. Actually, I saw an article that said it wasn't going to get bigger, that they talked to a developer, but I didn't actually click the article and read it, so I don't know the legitimacy of that. But
Very thorough of you.
Yeah,
Very
it
thorough.
was not thorough at all. Actually, that was probably the most unthorough thing I've ever done. But they said that it wasn't going to change. That could be a total surprise. They've thrown a lot of surprises at us the last 2 weeks, moving the date upwards. There could be a lot in the works that people don't know about. But I feel like if the lobby sizes were going to get bigger, we'd already know about it.
Well, they said that they weren't going to make the lobby sizes bigger for competitive play. They never said anything else about regular play. So I'm thinking that maybe they might have an alternate game mode. Maybe they might try a limited time mode where we have bigger lobbies, but they're having trouble right now just filling the regular lobbies. So I don't think that we're going to get that soon as we hope.
Well, crossplay, like Brian said, should be a major contributing factor to them being able to achieve that. Although crossplay is very difficult for them because, as we said in previous episodes from people that know a lot about the game's development, it wasn't designed for cross-plat. So they had to do a lot of reverse engineering. But I hope that they get it going and that they're able to merge those communities. And I would love to see even the competitive element have a higher lobby size because I love that fast-paced action. But the vehicles might do that in and of themselves.
I think take it easy as it goes forward, especially in competitive. It's competitive mode for a reason. It's supposed to be very smooth and very sleek how it runs, essentially. So maybe, like Kyle said, a limited time mode to first try out the bigger lobby sizes, or smaller, whatever works. And then maybe try out it in public first, in pubs, and just get that going. Make sure all the bugs work, that we don't have any issues with having 99 or 120 people in a lobby. And then go from there and say, okay, maybe now we implement it. So I don't expect it to be in competitive for at least a while. And that would actually make competitive feel different than pubs. And I don't have an issue with that. It should feel different.
Yeah, no, I don't either at all. And I said something similar about LTM modes too, is that anything that's not competitive, you should look at it a lot differently. But I think that when cross-plat gets really serious, especially PC versus console, you can probably expect to see some adjustments in the strength of the aim assist, which is something that I think every first-person shooter goes through some real growing pains when you try to transition from just being console isolated or PC isolated to going across, because you have a very, in my opinion, elevated level of precision playing with a mouse, and you got to give controller players the ability to compete. And I know that some people think that that's a real cop-out, but I think that it's a legitimate bottleneck of the actual resources that you have to game with. When you're playing with a controller, it's very hard to have that level of precision. So I expect that there's going to be some adjustments to aim assist as well in the next season.
Yeah. They've been able to integrate controller players and PC players pretty well in competitive too. So if it is, I think it'll make that a more smooth transition, because sometimes it feels a little different on the sticks than when you're playing on mouse and keys. So it has that difference. Let's get into communities a little bit. The new club system coming out. I've seen some leaked images. I'm not sure how legitimate they are, but there's going to be casual clubs. There's going to be competitive clubs. The Grab My Banner club is going to be there for you guys to join. the first day it comes out. I'm going to be making it. If you feel like joining it, I'll be putting that on social media, probably on TikTok, most likely on Twitter and Instagram as well. Feel free to join. I'll make us a casual one, and then we'll see where it goes from there with the competitive one, because I know me, Kyle, and Brian like to play competitively. We'll see what happens as we move forward. But we will have those clubs ready, so if you guys want to join, hop in.
That's probably the thing I'm most excited about for this entire season right now, more than the map, more than the new character, anything.
Yeah, you can put out your Apex Pee-wees
I fucking
club.
hate you. I knew where you were going with it. I fucking hate you.
Apex Juniors, like Nick Jr. It's Apex Junior.
You're such a piece of shit.
Weenie Hut Jr. subbing.
Oh, shit.
I hate you.
But yeah, that's just...
yourself, Brian. You
I did
Call
nothing.
it like
This
it
you
is.
carried
Call it like
over
it
from
is.
last episode.
No, this is your fucking silver 4-ass.
I'm not in silver. I'm not in silver.
Yeah, on the corpses of many children.
Oh, my God.
Kyle did the same thing I did.
Yeah, but he knows I can play better.
And I've shown that. I'm already out of it.
All right, guys, let's get into gambling. We'll hit a quick ad, and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, it's gambling time. It's gambling time. It's not a good week for me, boys. It was.
Yeah. I
It's
know
a
it wasn't a
bad
good
week
week
for
for you.
everybody.
Yeah, it was not a good week for me. Brian, I told you to bet unders
You
on me.
fucked me on the bets.
I told you to bet unders on me.
You had one job, was to hit your lines.
Brian, I said, Brian, these lines for me are too high. You need to bet unders. You need to bet unders,
And you know what?
didn't bet
I've
unders.
seen you play at a much higher level than this. I've
After-
seen you play at a much higher level in Diamond.
That's-
And you know what? You couldn't even handle the basics of Plat.
Well, here's the thing.
You're still dealing with silver fucking bimbos.
You've
No,
got
I'm not.
Apex
I'm in
Junior over
gold. I was
there.
in silver for one game this week.
You've got Apex Junior over there telling me how I need to play in Platinum. Brian, you're about to lose a sweatshirt. You realize that? You haven't gone to Platinum yet.
I haven't had a chance. I played one time in the past 2 weeks.
I think you've got like 5 days.
You know what? I better fucking grind.
You better.
Ange, I know you're watching. I'm coming home to grind.
Yeah, you better figure it out because you're going to owe
Gross.
Kyle a sweatshirt.
Listen, I'll help you. That's how bad I feel.
I don't. No. I'm not taking your help. I'm not taking that pity cop out.
Oh my God. All right, so before we get into the rest of gambling here, let's get a small explanation. All of us started off with 100 bones that we would use to place bets on other players. We set lines based on how the players play typically. We try and keep them as close as we can to how they actually play. Some weeks we have high lines, some weeks we have low lines. It really just depends on how you play. Either way, you use those bones, whichever ones you get, and you place bets on the kills, on the average damage, and on their max damage. We also split those up into quarters and halves, so there's more areas to place bets. So far this week,
Real fast. Don't forget about the prop bet.
oh, and we also have a new bet. It's the new prop bet, the win prop bet, 1.5, plus or minus 1.5. You can go over under on that. It's, you know, when we're playing only 16 games, it's rare that we get more than, I think I had 1 week where I got like 3 wins, and that was really that. So that's a pretty easy bet to go off of, but if somebody says, hey, I'm going to go for wins instead of kills and average damage, they could easily beat you on that. Very easy.
Just saying, we all play a lot better when we play together.
We do. We
By
do.
a
It's
long
crazy.
shot.
It honestly is crazy because when I play by myself, and I've been trying to, I told myself I wanted to get to Diamond before the end of the season, and playing by myself, dude, it is so difficult sometimes, man. Like it's hard to explain, but it really does suck when we're not playing together.
I think
it sucks.
Everyone who's ever played Apex understands how bad it sucks to play by yourself at times. Sometimes it's amazing. You find that perfect teammate, and then they're gone after that game.
Yeah, it sucks. So we have our 100 bones. We place them where we will. And then at the end of the season, we have a champion. Last season's champion was Troy. He ended with like 300 bones. He shat all over everybody. I don't need to say this, but Brian ended with 0 bones. I just wanted to say it. So I didn't have to, but I did. So this week, we've got ourselves a nice little week. Troy was dead last. Our champion was dead last week, and it was tough to watch. It was tough, but somehow he jumped all the way up up from the bottom to the top. He is now in first place with 146 bones. He went 2-1 this week, betting unders on me, which I told him to do, and he ended up with plus 68. Last week, Brian was dead first with 160 bones. Now he's sitting at 80 at the very bottom.
Yeah, you want to tell them why?
I'll tell them why. I told Brian to bet unders on me, and he bet overs, and I didn't hit any of them.
Listen, I had a little bit of faith in you.
You shouldn't have.
I had a little bit of faith in you.
Brian.
And you just screwed me over.
I didn't even have faith in myself.
65 bones!
I didn't even have faith in myself.
65 bones!
Don't forget to mention you lost 30 bones on bets on yourself. So while you might have lost 65 on me, you lost 30 on
You
yourself.
didn't hit a single line!
You didn't either.
Yeah, but that's me!
Oh
but
my god.
He moved up to gold, so there wasn't any transitional Fortnite players left.
You fucking bitch, Brian. I
Back
told
in
you.
silver, he was killing all the people that were trying to build walls.
You're like, what? I can't edit?
Builder Pro.
Oh my god. All right, so let's get to the lines.
I can build walls. Yeah, it takes an hour.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the lines real quick. This week's lines for me, my kills are at 27, halves at 13.5, quarters at 7.5. My average damage is 575, and my max damage is 1800. For Brian, his kills are at 22 for total, halves 11, quarters at 5.5. Average damage is at 550 because if there's one thing Brian can do, he can shoot a lot and not get the kill. So you can count on him to get higher damage. His max is 1700. For Kyle, his kills are at 25, halves 12.5, quarters at 6.5. Average damage is at 575, and his max is at 1900. Kyle has had a very weird career here on this show. He's been so up and down. It's almost impossible to bet on this guy, but I did it anyway, and I placed 3 bets on him this week.
Kyle, would you like to explain and give us your own take on how you've been playing this career?
Well, let me tell you. So when I first started, I played Octane. He's a thin guy. He's really fast. And then I switched to the cheeks because I was thinking about him too much. And so I started
talking
playing
about Loba.
And I figured out she's too thick to play in competitive.
She's literally too thick.
So
Her
I
hitbox
kept
is
getting
insane.
melted. So then my second half of my games this week, yeah,
All the door frames.
pretty much. They heard the cheek squeaking when I was running, Anyways, so
Can we just talk about the fact, like, if this was real life and she's wearing leather, how squeaky that would be, and how she would
Definitely,
never be able,
100%.
like, she could never be stealth. Like
well, she
that.
was, and so she's supposed to be a burglar.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a burglar
There's no
with
fucking way.
with those cheeks wearing leather. That's not happening.
Can we just talk how she's supposed to be Catwoman?
Yeah, pretty much.
She's pretty much Catwoman.
if she
Yeah.
got a Catwoman Halloween costume, I'd be so in. But she didn't get one this year, and I'm
Yeah, her
pissed
skin this
about
year
it.
sucked.
Her skin does suck this year.
Yeah, not fun.
So, anyways, then I switched back. I switched to Revenant, which has been my main for quite some time.
Why'd you ever stop playing him?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why you ever stopped. He didn't get worse. He only got better.
He
You
got
just
better,
decided
and you're
to
like, oh,
switch.
fuck this guy.
Yeah, you're
I
like,
just wanted to play other characters. Is that a crime?
yes.
Okay, so I went back to playing Revenant and totally smoked
You-
the second half of my lines.
You
so.
benched Lamar Jackson for Joe Flacco. That's what you did.
Honestly,
Well, I did.
Kyle, if I were to describe you as a player in one way, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Or you-
Shitty a lot of the times and has those few massive games that wins him the big contract.
I don't know what Troy's doing.
I don't know what Troy's doing either. He's getting ready to
We
say
mentioned
something.
football, and
My
he-
thing is, I'm just gonna. What are you gonna talk
I
about the
just
Chicago
wanted to
Bears
know
again?
What that reference was.
Okay, so Lamar Jackson is good.
And Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco sucks. Well, he used to be elite.
No. It was all,
Brian
the
used
question-
to convince us that he was elite.
I convince you of a lot of shit.
Yeah. I think he does it because he's bored.
I love to argue the devil's
He
advocate.
does. He does love to argue.
I won't even believe it half the time. I'll just argue it.
Yeah.
So I played like shit only because I played just because she's a little too thick and I got melted a lot.
Yeah.
And then I switched to a skeleton and I started winning again.
That's fair.
So you're playing Revenant. So
Yes.
me betting overs on you this week shouldn't backfire as bad.
No, I'm gonna mess some poor kids up on in gold. Hopefully.
Okay. Well,
What if Loba had a passive, or not even a passive? What if she had like her
Tactical.
Yeah, what if her tactical was that she put baseball glove oil all over her suit and then it fit right, and so she like got a speed boost until it dried out?
I'm just trying to think of the animation for that.
Yeah, I was like, so you're talking about a stem.
She has to take it off, apply it,
Okay.
put it in the microwave,
Okay.
pull it out, put it on.
Tie it up, put it under her pillow at night.
Yeah, dude, you've been there. 3 rubber bands.
My dad was like, son, this is how you get your glove to be good. I was like, Dad, don't you hate baseball? He's like, yeah, I fucking hate it, but this is how you my son can play for the Yankees.
But I feel really good about leather.
All right, who wants to go first with their card?
Not me.
I'll take it.
All right,
Troy doesn't like to
ahead.
go.
Hey, Kyle, let
He
us
doesn't
know
like
how
to go
many
before
bets
me.
you have and how many bones you have out there too when you're
All right, I got 7 bets with 80 bones on the line.
Okay.
Out
How
of
many
out
are
of
you
my
sitting at
one
right
You
bet.
have
now?
7 bets?
Yes.
He's going to lose half of them.
I got 7 bets with 80 bones on the line. I'm very confident with it. I got 120 bones total, so I'm only have 40 left if I lose all these motherfuckers, but I don't think I will.
But did you bet on yourself?
Yes, I did. Because
Wow.
I actually took Brian's slogan to heart this week, and I said to myself,
What's my slogan? What's my slogan?
if you can't bet on yourself, who you gonna bet on?
Hey.
Don't do this, dude.
So I took it to
It's
heart.
going to
this
happen.
week.
Everyone's going to say it at some
And
point.
you know what? I bet on myself, man. I bet on myself hard. And I'll start with that because in honor of Brian's slogan, I bet on myself on the over my third quarter average damage. I bet on myself on the over in the third over my max to get my max
third quarter
in the
max?
third quarter.
Third quarter
Yes.
max.
How much did you bet on
Holy
those?
shit.
I bet 10 bones each on both of those.
Okay.
And then I bet 20 bones on my total kills over. So I'm pulling hard for myself. And then I bet all unders for Brian.
Smart.
So I bet in the first quarter average damage, I bet 10 bones. And then I bet 10 bones that he will not hit his max. And then I got 2 bets on Mr. Wyatt Babb, and both of those are for 10 bones. My 2 bets for Wyatt Babb are he's going to hit an over in his fourth quarter average damage for 10 bones, and I have said that he's going to hit an over in his total kills for 10 bones. Because I have faith in you this week, brother. I have faith in you.
I'm going to grind. I'm going to grind for it. I'll go next. I'll do my card next. All right, so I've got no bets on myself, just bets on Brian and Kyle. I've got 6 for a total of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 bones. Got 33 bones out there. I'm not
What
a big bone.
bet for you.
I'm not a big bone better. I'm
I
not a
mean,
big bone
talking
better.
week 1, you bet like what, 10 bones?
Brian, how many bones you lose this week? All right.
More than you ever bet in your entire career.
I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. All right, so I have 3 unders on Brian. Actually, 4 unders on Brian.
Fuck you too.
I have the total kills under for 5 bones. He's sitting at 22. He's struggled like the last 3 weeks. Like at first we were like, oh, okay. He had his first week terrible. Second week he played really, really well. And we're like, oh, okay, Brian's coming around. And then it's just been shit ever since. So, yeah, I bet under on that. The first half kills under as well at 11. If Brian were to play well, it would be in the second half. In the first half, I don't even want to talk about it. It's not good. I also have an under for the third quarter kills for 3 bones. And then I also have, for the last bet on Brian, his max damage under 5 bones at 1,700. He could hit that one. I just don't think it's very likely.
I don't think he's going to hit shit. He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
That's not true. Ask any of my family. Anytime there's water around, I fall in it.
Yeah, that's a Brian
That's a
thing.
very
that's
real
a Brianism.
thing. Like
That's a Brianism
dude,
right there.
It's pretty bad.
The Brianisms. He goes to the lake, he falls in the water. Brianisms. He goes to McDonald's, they forget the bottom bun. Brianisms.
Oh, fuck McDonald's, man. They fucked up my orders so many times.
Brianisms. He
That
plays fantasy
specific
football, he
McDonald's
gets
has
dead
fucked
last.
me over so many times.
Yep.
one next to Shenanigans, right?
No. That's the one next to Willow Station.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That one, they fucked up so many times. Literally, I went there, got a double quarter pounder, and they forgot my fucking bun. They had meat on top of the cardboard. What the fuck is that shit? I open it up, I go, Man, what the fuck?
I just really don't understand how you do that because, like, the bottom
It's the
bun.
first thing that goes in.
Yeah,
It didn't
It's the
even,
first thing you
it
do.
didn't even bother you that bad because you only went to that McDonald's to get teammates at the play place.
Why is this an ongoing thing?
dude.
Why is this an ongoing thing?
Because you play it silver.
No, I don't.
Okay, let me finish my card. All right, and then I got Kyle. I got his total kills over. I'm feeling confident in Kyle this week. I have no reason to, but I'm going to. I have 5 bones over on 25 total kills. I also have a second half kills over at 5 bones. That'll be 12.5 in the second half. I think you can get that. And then the only under I have on Kyle is his max damage under. Now, Kyle's consistently hit max damages, but he's struggled. He's been cold the last 2 weeks, so I think 1,900 is a good number to bet under on, and I will take that one. That'll do it for my card. Who's next?
Well, Troy
Brian
refuses to go before me now because he thinks that I copy his bets, which is not true.
You did
Not
it.
anymore.
You did it 1 week, and I think that was the best week you
no,
had.
I didn't copy his bets though.
You
I-
copied half of them.
No, I had the same. I read my card after
just
his,
picked
but they were
different
all
colors.
written down. I just made good bets.
I don't believe it.
So this week, I made 3 bets, and I gave each of you one fucking job. I need each of you to do one thing.
If it suck, you can count. I won't do that.
No, I actually bet over on you for 20 bones
Yes.
on one bet. You better fucking hit your third quarter max.
Jeez.
I'm gonna do
What?
my bets. That,
God damn
dude,
it, dude.
that's you realize if
You
you
got no-
you win that's 90 bones, but if you lose
No
that,
force-
It's 20 bones. I lose 20 or I win 90. And it's your best quarter, and you are due for hitting your max. You've hit it in the third quarter every time you have hit it, and you've hit it more than any of us.
actually, I think
No, wait, stop. No, you lose 20 or
gain 60.
you gain 60.
Yeah, that's still fine. That even 60, that's still worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a lot different than 90 though. I want you to know
Well,
that.
he said 90, and I
Well,
just ran
I
with the
thought you
number.
bet 30. I fucked
No, he said 90. I just ran with it. Wyatt, I gave you one fucking job. I'm giving you one more chance.
Oh, no, dude.
One more chance. I need you to hit an over in the third quarter for average damage. That's it. That's it. You don't even have to win. You don't have to play well. You don't have to do anything. Trust me, you can hit average damage and still suck. I do it all the time. You can do it.
Yeah, I can do it. I'm telling you, it's a different animal, but I will try.
So I put 20 bones on that.
Oh, God, Brian.
Oh, dude.
I just don't know.
You're so screwed.
And then, obviously, 20 bones on myself in the third quarter average damage
just-
because it's me. And all I know how to do is put shots on bodies.
I hate you.
Hey, can't bet on yourself.
See, like, you were laughing when you were saying that.
You didn't even have to finish it. We already knew.
You were laughing when you were saying, because I put shots on bodies, because you knew it was ridiculous what
Well,
you were
that's
saying.
I never said I killed him. I just put shots on him.
I don't feel like you even want to win. I feel like
Yeah.
you got comfortable at the bottom and you by accident found yourself at the top last week and you were like, this is so uncomfortable. I don't like this. I need to get back to where I'm comfortable at the bottom. And you just want to stay there now.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's exactly why you're sleeping on a yoga mat instead of a bed.
No, I got a bed now. I was in the middle of a move. My bed was in storage. I got a bed now.
He's got a bed now. It's on the
Okay, all right.
It
Well,
is on.
see,
It is on the floor.
now
I have not.
the-
I have not brought in
it's
the
on
actual box
okay,
spring and
well,
everything. But
you
it's,
see, you've elevated yourself in sleep, and now
About
you
6
have
inches.
to lower yourself in the bedding. You got to balance it out. You got to stay on the bottom somewhere.
Yeah, I see what he's saying.
What are you doing betting a quarter for max damage, man?
That's
When you're
when
in
you
the-
have
when
no
you're-
money
when
left.
you have no money, dude, that's a big boy move.
You have no money
What-
left. and
what do
you're
you think I
taking
am?
that kind of bet.
I'm not even
As
gonna
Kyle fucking
dignify that question with an answer.
you just did.
That was not an answer.
Yeah.
Would you knock it off? You're speaking to Alex Caruso. Be respectful.
Okay, am I up?
Yeah, you're up.
Is it time?
Yeah, it's time.
Okay, it's time.
You're
Watch
good
him
to
bet
go.
third quarter for a max.
Okay, all right. So I am back on top where I belong. Just like poker, anybody can, hit a turn card or hit a river every once in a while, get lucky on a big bet, but skill balances out over time.
Didn't I kick your ass in poker over at the trailer?
That has never happened.
At the coast?
No,
When
you
all
did
of us
not
were hanging
kick-
out. I literally just got the chips and leaned
I
on
was
you
very
the
drunk.
entire time. So was I.
Yeah, so that cancels out.
Yeah, so you just got your ass kicked, and you just admitted you
All
lost
out.
too.
All out. I did lose.
All right, Brian finally won an
Yeah,
argument.
you did.
It's
You did win an
39 to
argument.
1.
You know what? I can't deny those facts. You did beat me that night in poker. It was incredible.
Yeah, twice. You got pissed.
I did get upset. I was very mad. That was one of the worst nights.
That was hilarious.
Okay.
I laughed.
All right, moving on. I
Awesome
went
about
ahead and bet almost all of my bones. So I came into this week with 146. So actually, I bet more than I have. So I'm going to have to bring one of these down a little bit.
Wow, Troy trying to cheat the system.
We'll go ahead.
Well, I could give you a cash
We'll move this
advance.
to 20. Okay.
You have
So
good
that would
credit.
put me
Now,
at
if
20.
Brian was asking for a cash advance, I'd be hesitant.
It's not a big deal.
Okay.
We'll do 21, so it's just all of it. Keep it even.
Brian, you're
My bets are golden. It's you guys that suck.
Brian, do you realize what you just said? You're betting on us, and you said my bets are golden, but you guys suck. It needs
Yes.
to be the other way
No.
around.
No.
I don't get you.
I want to hear I suck and you guys are golden.
He won't say it. I'm not
Yeah.
even going to wait.
Oh my
all right, so
God.
I have 156 bones to start. I'm betting all of them on 4 bets. Okay, and so consistently all throughout this entire process, Kyle has been my cash cow because Kyle is really predictable in when he's good and when he's not. He's almost always good in the third quarter, and if you bet average damage, you get 2 to 1s. That's how I got up, is betting Kyle for the most part. So I'm going to continue that trend.
That's
my
how you-
biggest bet, okay, is Kyle's third quarter average damage. I bet an over, which is a 2 to 1 of 60 bones. Okay, so if he hits that, that's a huge leap for me. I also bet a first quarter kills over for 40 bones on Kyle. Very, very confident in Kyle this week. I'm happy he's switching over to Revenant, but I think that he's starting to hit his stride in competitive. For Brian, I went ahead and bet an under on his total max damage of 25 bones. And then for Bab, I bet on his fourth quarter average damage. Okay, I bet an over of 21 bones. So lots of average damage bets because I'm looking for those 2 to 1s.
The 2 to 1s are where he gets his money.
How much? Well, you spent 40 on me for what?
I spent 60 on you for third quarter average damage over, and I spent 40 on you for first quarter kills, which is 6.5.
Kyle, I need you to suck shit on the average damage. And I need you to just hit that max. That's it. Hit that max and literally just drop and die instantly every other game in the third quarter.
You know that.
If you drop and die instantly in the third quarter every game, except for the one where you hit your max, we're all set and Troy's fucked.
No, because I need to get my average damage.
Nah, fuck that. You'll hit your max. You'll be fine. It'll cover your losses.
No, it won't.
You guys need to take notes. Listen, I ran the entire table the entire last season. You guys need to look at what I'm doing. You need to take notes. You know what I've never, ever done, Brian? I've never once bet on a quarter for max, ever. That's so silly.
Especially when you have no money.
I'm 1 week
done it
out of
twice.
first place. I'm fine.
I think I've actually done it 3 times, and
Brian,
all 3 times I've done it on myself.
You know what doesn't make sense to me is I feel like you know that you're doing something dumb, but hoping it's going to hit. Because you can't even finish your sentence without being like, I'm laughing.
Bro, that's just gambling in general. Anytime
No!
you gamble, it's dumb. You're never supposed to...
Brian, you can look at the paper and like narrow it down to
I
like
am.
a percentage.
There's
Kyle.
no part of when I make bets where I'm laughing to myself like, oh man, I have no idea. I know every bet I put in, I'm confident in. All the time.
And sometimes they
There's
don't hit, but there's
always going to be probability, but there's the guesswork is as limited as it can be. I'm confident.
Kyle, hit your max in the third quarter to silence these guys.
I'm going to do my very best, but I have such a bad feeling this week that I'm going to hit it in the second, and I'm going to be so upset with myself.
If you hit it in the second, you were disowned.
I know I'm going to be so sad.
You were disowned.
Yeah, I could see that
You're going to
happening.
go right back to the label of bad teammate.
Well, he's
I already
hovering
have
there
it.
right
I don't even know.
He's hovering there right now.
Let's, yeah, no. That's why you've had so much trouble in comp lately. Is bad teammate.
yeah.
You know, Kyle's
Well,
the only one that's not liking the
gotta
comp
admit-
switch.
You gotta admit, like playing Loba in comp is like a bad teammate move.
No. No.
What? Because she sucks.
Yeah, she sucks, but she's a total team-based. That's what's so silly is Loba's a team-based character,
But
and it's so that's probably why Kyle sucks at playing her.
cheek.
You're not wrong.
Stop distracting your teammates.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably they're like, fuck,
He's
man, look at
hypnotizing
that
them.
ass, and then you're just getting blown away.
Like getting the loot out of your little fucking prism thing and then blowing it up before your teammates get there.
Yeah, that is something I do.
That's actually pretty.
Well, I mean, it's better than if I was a Mirage main. I mean, that would be fucking shitty. I mean,
But
Well, at
no,
least you could
Mirage
res somebody.
means you could res somebody
You can res
invisibly.
someone, yeah.
you can still hear the fucker. It's not like you're.
He
Yeah.
didn't even think of that.
You can't even.
He didn't
see
even
it.
think
I know,
about
right?
a res.
His brain just
His
does
brain.
What's a
He didn't
res?
even register. What?
I didn't think about the rest
Kyle,
at all.
the reason we're called Grab My Banner is because we always have to yell that at you. You're always like, he's like, oh, what's a fucking banner?
Yeah, the listeners are gonna have to join the Grab My Banner club so that they can experience this for themselves. If you want to drop like 3 ranks, just jump in with Kyle real quick.
Listen, we'll win the game. It's just you may not be playing.
Yeah, you may be dead. You may be watching.
He may carry you up a tier, but I'm going to let you know right now, you ain't going to be playing that tier.
If you're trying to stay in silver just to
like, he's
play
on-
with the sweaties, you can just play with Brian.
Listen, you're going to be in a game with Kyle going, he's on me, on me. Kyle's going, oh, fuck, dude, I'm across the map. He's a full squad on me. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
He'd be like, dude, I'm right around the corner. Pick me up. He's gonna be like, send me your PayPal.
Venmo me, bitch.
Where's my money?
All right, that should just about do it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'm so happy we got to do this again, dude. That last week sucked so bad. I felt so shitty 'cause I didn't get to record, but
I'm glad to be back, man. Glad
Honestly, I was so busy, I probably wouldn't have been able to
No,
make it
honestly,
anyway. So
yeah.
it just kind of like it worked out that we didn't do it, but at the same time, it sucked that we couldn't put out the content.
yeah, so tomorrow we might be having a half episode as well, so be on the lookout for that because the gameplay trailer drops, so it might be just me by myself or it might be somebody else. It doesn't matter. Something's going up tomorrow after the gameplay trailer drops. We'll talk a little bit about that, but for now, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok. Don't forget to follow us on all the social medias at Grab My Banner Pod or at Grab My Banner Podcast. Big shout out to Rays for giving us the code. Use code BANNER at checkout for 15% off all Rep Sports products. They've got a line of energy drinks, the ones we're drinking now. They've got a line of supplements for workouts. They've got everything that you could need. Remember, use code BANNER at checkout. That'll do it, boys. Anything else? All right. Well, we will catch you guys later. See you guys.
Yeah.